Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our story time. Let's all read together. Today's theme is family, and we're going to open with a song all about families. A family, what is a family? A family, what is a family? Brothers, sisters, a mom or a dad, hanging out, spending time, much fun to be had. Soccer with your uncle, fishing with your aunt. Grandpa sure does love to dance. There's a family of fish living in the sea. There's a family of owls up in a tree. There's a family of ducks playing in the mud, and a family of bugs on a flower bud. Sometimes they're near, sometimes they're far. They're still your family wherever they are. Families are sweet, families are fun. All around the world, we're a family of one. We are family. We are family. Our first book is A Family is a Family is a Family by Sarah O'Leary and Chin Ling. And I'm going to read this to you. We were talking about families at school. The teacher asked us what we thought made our family special. I went last because I wasn't sure what to say. My family is not like everyone else's. My mom and dad have been best friends since first grade. They really like each other. It's kind of gross. And here we see them all together. There are lots of kids in our family. Mom and Dad just keep coming home with more. This is pretty silly in this picture. But that happens sometimes. Both my moms are terrible singers, and they both like to sing really loud. Well, at least it looks like everyone's having a good time. I have more grandparents than anyone I know. And here we have a family tree. We have a new baby in our house. I think my mom ordered him online. I'm not so sure about that. Are you? We all look alike in my family. We just kind of go together. That's a very cool bicycle they're riding. One week, Mom gets me. The next week, Dad does. Fair's fair. And here we see the different families doing different things together. Some people say I look like my dad. Some people say I look like my mom. I think I look like myself. More artwork. Always fun to do art as a family. My mom says that before I was born, I grew in her heart. Because I live with my grandmother, people sometimes think she's my mother. She's not. She's my everything. How sweet. Some kids were dads. Some of the kids were dads when he met Mom. Oh, I see. Some of our kids were dads when he met Mom. Some were moms when she met Dad. Now we all belong together. That is not worded the best, but now I understand what they were saying. One of my dads is tall, and one is short. They both give good hugs. I listened to everybody else, and then I remembered the time someone saw us all together at the park. She asked my foster mother to point out her real children. Oh, I don't have any imaginary children, Mom said. All my children are real. That is a very good answer. A family is a family is a family. There's no one way to have a family. The end. Our next book is called Piggies in Pajamas by Michelle Meadows and illustrated by Ard Hoyt, because even animals have families. Mama's in the kitchen, talking on the phone. Papa isn't home yet. Piggies are alone. Piggies in pajamas, jumping in the air, tossing up the pillows, popcorn in their hair. Oh dear, are they behaving the way they're supposed to at bedtime? I don't think so. Climbing up the mountain, lined up in a row. Diving in the ocean, piggies holler, go! Thump, thump, oink, oink. All the piggies fall. Stomp, stomp, stomp. Mama's in the hall. Hurry up the tunnel. Everybody hide. Underneath the covers, snuggle deep inside. All the piggies are pretending to be asleep and in bed like they're supposed to be. Creak goes the door. Is Mama really here? She's busy on the phone. I think the coast is clear. Piggies in pajamas scoot across the floor, going for a train ride, speeding past the door. Toot, toot, oink, oink, rolling down the track. Stomp, 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 stomp. Mama's coming back. Does everyone remember what comes next? Hurry to the tunnel. Everybody hide. Underneath the covers, snuggle deep inside. They're not so good at pretending to be asleep this time. Creak, creak goes the floor. She's sitting down to chat. She's talking on the phone again. I think it's Mrs. Cat. More animal families. There's even a family of mice under the floorboards. I would not want to live in that house. Piggies in pajamas whirl around the room. Cartwheels and somersaults. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, oink, oink. Piggies love to play. Stomp, 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 stomp. Mama's on the way. Who remembers what comes next? I can turn the page. Hurry to the tunnel. Everybody hide. Underneath the covers, snuggle deep inside. Creak, creak goes the door. Is Mama coming back? She's headed to the kitchen, looking for a snack. She sees all her piggies in bed, so she goes back downstairs. Piggies in pajamas, digging through the chest. Race cars, tambourines, a polka-dotted vest. Who's at the window? Piggies drop their toys. Screech, scratch, tap, tap. What's that noise? Who remembers what comes next? No, just a little tree branch that gives the piggies a scare. But they think it's a wolf or a fox or a bear. We were wrong. That's not the same as before. That's okay, because it's still a good story. Piggies in pajamas sneaking down the hall, crawling with their blankets. Baby drags a doll. Where could they be going next? Mama's in the bathroom, washing up her face. Piggies in pajamas find a cozy place. Tickle, tickle, oink, oink. They giggle for a while. Snuggle, snuggle, good night. Piggies in a pile. They certainly look cozy. Mama sees their pink ears. Tails are sticking out. Mama climbs into bed and kisses every snout. Good night, piggies. The end. Our next book is Under My Hijab by Hannah Khan, illustrated by Aliyah Jalil. And it's dedicated to my strong Muslim sisters everywhere and to all the inspiring women in my life, most importantly, my mother. Grandma peeks into the oven as a brown loaf of bread starts to rise. Her hijab is carefully folded, like the crusts on my favorite pies. When she's at home in her kitchen, Grandma fixes her hair in a bun. We mix up some chocolate cookies and share a sweet treat when they're done. We're baking together. I used to love to bake with my grandmother. Mama makes jokes with her patients as she peers in his ears and his throat. Her bright pink hijab looks cheerful, tucked into her tidy white coat. At home, Mama lets her long hair down as she rolls up the sleeves of her shirt. We laugh while we plant pretty flowers and make a big mess with the dirt. Auntie works hard in her studio. She's always dressed funky and cool. Her silky hijab towers up high, pinned with a handmade jewel. Oh, arts. More families doing art together. I love it. I hang my very own painting on the wall of her colorful home. Auntie's hair is streaked with pink and purple, a fine work of art she can comb. And I'm sure we all know some people with pink and purple in their hair, or one or the other. Jenna is our fearless troop leader. She makes us the gooeyest s'mores. Her hijab is topped with a sun hat whenever we hike outdoors. Very important to protect yourself against the sun. When dark falls, we huddle together and share spooky stories all night. Jenna's hair glows as she whispers. I shiver and hold her arm tight. My sister, Zanya, in high school, wears something stylish each day. She puts on a fashionable outfit and wraps her hijab in a cute way. Zanya ties up her hair in the evening when she takes a short break from her book. Then we dig through the clothes in her closet to find tomorrow's fresh look. And I really hope I'm pronouncing that right, but there are no instructions in this book, so I might have got that wrong, in which case I apologize. Iman tries to earn her first black belt. A sporty hijab frames her face. When she cracks a board into pieces, I'm amazed her hijab stays in place. Look at that. At my house, we dance to some music. I teach Iman moves that I know. My cousin's curls bounce, jump, and tumble as we put on our own private show. I've danced with some of my cousins. It's a lot of fun. These wonderful girls and smart women inspire me with all that they do. I can wear my hijab like each of them and try something totally new. Under my hijab, in a headband, or a clip with butterfly wings, my hair shines bright like my future. I cannot wait to see what it brings. The end. We've got one more story after this. Our last story is called And Tango Makes Three, and it's a different kind of animal story by Justin Richardson and Peter Parnell, illustrated by Henry Cole. These are about animals living in a zoo. In the middle of New York City, there's a great big park called Central Park. Children love to play there. It has a toy boat pond where they can sail their boats. It has a carousel to ride on in the summer and an ice rink to skate on in the winter. Ooh, sounds like fun. Best of all, it has its very own zoo. Every day, families of all kinds go to visit the animals who live there. See, lots of kinds of families. But children and their parents aren't the only families at the zoo. The animals make families of their own. There are red panda bear families with mothers and fathers and furry red panda bear cubs. There are monkey dads and monkey moms raising noisy monkey babies. There are toad families, toucan families, and cotton-top tamarin families too. And in the penguin house, there are penguin families. Every year at the same time, the girl penguins start noticing the boy penguins, and the boy penguins start noticing the girls. When the right girl and the right boy penguin find each other, they become a couple. The penguins in the penguin house were two penguins in the penguin house were a little bit different. One was named Roy, and the other named Silo. Roy and Silo were both boys, but they did everything together. They bowed to each other, they walked together, they sang to each other, and swam together. Wherever Roy went, Silo went too. That sounds like a family too. They didn't spend much time with the girl penguins, and the girl penguins didn't spend much time with them. Instead, Roy and Silo wound their necks around each other. Their keeper, Mr. Gramercy, noticed the two penguins and thought to himself, they must be in love. Roy and Silo watched how the other penguins made a home. So they built a nest of stones for themselves. Every night, Roy and Silo slept there together, just like the other penguin couples. Every morning, Roy and Silo woke up together. But one day, Roy and Silo saw that the other couples could do something they could not. The mama penguin would lay an egg. She and the papa penguin would take turns keeping the egg warm until finally it would hatch. And then there would be a baby penguin. Roy and Silo had no egg to sit on and keep warm. They had no baby chick to feed and cuddle and love. Their nest was nice, but it was a little empty. One day, Roy found something that looked like what the other penguins were hatching, and he brought it to their nest. It was only a rock, but Silo sat on it carefully, and sat and sat. When Silo got sleepy, he slept. And when Silo was done sleeping and sitting, he swam and Roy sat. Day after day, Silo and Roy sat on the rock. But nothing happened. Oh, that's a little sad. Then Mr. Gramercy got an idea. He found an egg that needed to be cared for, and he brought it to Roy and Silo's nest. An egg that had no family, and a family that has no eggs. What a perfect match. Roy and Silo knew just what to do. They moved the egg to the center of their nest. Every day they turned it so each side stayed warm. Some days Roy sat while Silo went for food. Other days it was Silo's turn to take care of the egg. They sat in the morning, they sat at night. They sat through lunchtime and swim time and supper. They sat at the beginning of the month, and they sat between the end of the month, and all the days in between. Until one day they heard a sound coming from inside their egg. Peep, 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 it said. Roy and Silo called back, squawk, squawk, peep, peep, the egg answered. Suddenly, a tiny hole appeared in the eggshell, and then, what might happen next? Crack! Out came their very own baby. She had a fuzzy white tail feathers and funny black beak. Now, Roy and Silo were fathers. We'll call her Tango, Mr. Gramercy decided, because it takes two to make a tango. Roy and Silo taught Tango how to sing for them when she was hungry. They fed her food from their beaks. They snuggled her in their nest at night. Tango was the very first penguin at the zoo to have 2 daddies, but it sounds like they lived just like every other bird family. Soon Tango grew strong enough to leave the nest. Roy and Silo took her for a swim, just like all the other penguin families. And the children who came to the zoo could see Tango and her 2 fathers playing in the penguin house with the other penguins. Hooray, Roy! Hooray, Silo! Welcome, Tango! They cheered. Look at all those families coming to see the penguins. At night, the 3 penguins returned to their nest. They snuggled together like all the other penguins in the penguin house, and all the animals in the zoo, and all the families in the big city around them. They went to sleep. And I think, yep, the end. Let's do our goodbye song. Almost forgot your craft. What you're gonna wanna do is cut out all the pieces on your paper into one house shape. You want your red triangles up here and your corners here, and then you're gonna fold the pieces in so that it makes a house. And then when you open it up, there's a space for you to draw a picture of your own family. That's your craft for this month. Have fun with it. And now our goodbye song for real. Wave up high, wave down low. I think it's time. We gotta go. Wave with your elbow and wave with your toes. Wave with your tongue and wave your nose. Beep, beep, beep. Wave your knees, wave your lips. Let's all wave with our fingertips. Wave your ears and wave your hair. Wave with your belly and grab all your gear. Wave with your chin and blink your eyes. Then wave with your hand and say goodbye.